What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Craig. As promised in Thursday's video, I went out of town Friday, so I'm back now. I told you I would do a more full market update and kind of look at everything: Dow Jones, S&P, even MicroStrategy, and of course Bitcoin, and where our targets are and what I'm looking for. I'm going to give you both the smaller time frame bullish and bearish, and then I'll give you the big time frame or macro time frame bullish and bearish. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up, leave your comments, let me know what you think. Let me know anything you would like to see on market analysis or whatever, just things going on in the economy or your views. Let me know in the comments if something you want me to go over. But let's get into it. First, we're going to take a look at the Nasdaq. What's going on, I think, is obviously a big, huge parabolic run. Once this trend line breaks off of these lows right here, we'll probably be in a massive bear market at that point where people actually might admit it. But we could still go higher. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Let's take a look at where we're at. If we zoom in here, we are below. Now, for those of you that watch the channel, I like my EMAs. I like my exponential moving averages more than I like regular moving averages, right? And right now we are below the 8 and the 13. We're getting support around the 21. If we drop below that, and that's right around 18.7, and start getting, if that becomes our resistance, then we come all the way down to the 55 EMAs around 17.5. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. If you guys are interested in trading, check out Prime XBT. Links down below. By using my link, you can get up to a $7,000 bonus, which you can trade crypto, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything, all from one exchange. Definitely check them out. And if you want a no KYC exchange, go to BitUnix. There's also a link down below, and you can get free $100 if you sign up using my bonus with BitUnix. That's for people that don't like KYC. So, taking a look at the S&P, right? Same thing, but S&P already dropped below its 21 EMA. Currently, that should hold as resistance if it's going to 5,800, and then your 55 EMA is lying right around 50, let's just say 55,000. Now, if it breaks that will also break this parabolic line for the S&P, guys. That's why I think there's something very big coming. And to talk about why I put cash as king on the thumbnail, right? We're going to look at this, and this will go for everything: Bitcoin, the Dow Jones, everything. So I know everybody thinks the dollar's dying, but hear me out. Listen, if you're holding the dollar when the markets crash, right? I mean, you can say it and look at any chart, and you got to get in the right mindset here. Even if the value of the dollar is going down, right? But the markets crash. So if a stock is 5,000 and you got $5,000 and that stock drops down to $1,000 in a crash, you could buy 5 times more of that stock with the dollar. Even if the dollar value went down, the stock went down, you get back in. And that's what people don't seem to understand. And we'll take a look at that in the DXY too. I think it's in a huge falling wedge. I mean, this is a macro chart. We've been looking at this for a long time. These have been my targets for years, right? I believe these are going to happen. Either way, even if this was the top at 114, 122, if the market crashes, right? We can look back here in 2000 when the market crashed, stocks and everything got super, super cheap, right? If you would have bought it back right up here, even though the dollar came down, your stock price would be amazing. But guys, don't get caught up in the narrative that the dollar is dying. Again, this is not financial advice, but I really don't think the dollar's dying. I really don't think they're going to put in this new system where they get rid of the dollar totally. The dollar is going to be king. I still believe. We'll see. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But I just don't see this crazy getting rid of the dollar thing. But who am I? Just a guy on the internet. But anyways, so let's look at the 10-year yield. The same thing. We've had this target up here since way, way back In 22, once we broke here, we put this target about 7% and then 8, right? And people are like, no way it'll go above 5 because that's where it says, well, just take a look back here. In 1981, it was 15%, right? Mortgage percentage went way up. Your loan rates, mortgage rates, way high. That we could be seeing that again, guys. And what would the Dow Jones look like? This is what I think the Dow Jones would look like, obviously, if it happened. Here on the right, you can see it was the Great Depression. You can see the massive drop. Now, this is a good example of if you were in the dollar, right? If you were in the dollar and you bought down here, you had many, many years of upside. Now, it took a long time to recover, right? So if this was to happen, your best bet would to be into cash and look for buy zones on the way down, right? Although it would take decades to get back up here if it was to happen like this, but it could happen like March 2020 and just shoot right back up, V-shaped recovery, which I doubt, but it is definitely a possibility and something to keep in mind. But as you can see, the structure of this market looks a lot like the bubble of 1929, the Great Depression, right? It would coincide with all the stuff going on. I believe if this happens, it will be blamed on a certain someone, but we'll see how that turns out. Let's zoom in a little bit. Well, first, MicroStrategy. I've talked about this for years about MicroStrategy, right? I don't think he's in it because he really loves Bitcoin. I think he sees an opportunity like he's seen back here. Why do you think his stock dropped back here? It dropped because he sold a shit ton of it, right? And they probably bought it back for pennies all along here, right? And then he's got the Bitcoin hype, right? That got to pump his stock. People are putting it in MicroStrategy, which I have no idea why, because he is a crazy gambler, in my opinion. He's just taking huge risk. But what you have to understand is he has a lot of stock. He will be dumping his stock, so no matter what happens, he will be making money. Just be aware of that. Be careful. The guy plays the market very well, right? And it's not by, it's behind the doors stuff he does in the market, is why I think he's any good at it. Because if you look up MicroStrategy as a company, it's garbage. It loses money. It's horrible. Anyways, my opinion, again, guys, go look this stuff up for yourself. Make your own opinion. I do believe you should have your own strategy, your own thought process on the market. Don't take everything I say for what's going on. Don't take everything that the perma bulls take. You got to get your own take on the market and try to get into reality. Keep an even keel, right? So what would it look like if the Dow crashed there? So this right here was the 2000, right? No. I'm sorry. This was the 2000 crash over here. I think 38%. So if we were to do that, the Dow would be about 27.9. This here was the .com bubble, I believe. I'd have to double check, but either way, this one would get you down to about 20,700. And then, of course, you have the Great Depression, which would get it down to around 6,000 points for the Dow, if that was to happen. Again, guys, nothing saying it has to happen, but, oh, here it was. 2007, right? That was 54%. So, yeah, this was the great financial crisis of 2007 and 8, and that got it down 53%, right? And then you had the .com bubble that got it down to about 38% down to the downside. Now, these are not exact numbers, right? This is just to show you what I think's coming, and these are the levels to watch for, right? So here is our Bitcoin chart. This is our daily chart that we've been watching for a while, and I have a few different views of this, right? And we'll go down into the 4-hour. We'll also take a look at the weekly and the monthly and look at our divergence. But as you can see, we had this thick white trend line here. Told you if this bottom trend line held, we would most likely get a bounce up to test this top line. And if it got above that, that would be extremely bullish, right? Now let's take a look at where we're at. Right now, we are on it on the daily. Now, if we close the daily below here, open and close the next daily below, I believe this will probably remain resistance. And then I'm going to take a look at the counts now where I think that could be going. Here's another look. People are talking about the head and shoulders. I'm going to give you an Elliott wave count that gives about the same type scenario, right? So there's your neckline. Your measured move is just measure from the head down to the neckline, and then where it breaks, get you down to about 74,000. Now, here's the Elliott wave counts we've been watching for a long time. Remember, we thought this would be the top once we tested this trend line. We even got a little wick above it, but it came back down, right? Is this wave 1 and 2? Now, this is saying that 2 is done. I have another count, which I'm going to show you in a second, saying 2 could be up higher. And then, of course, we have a macro chart that shows we could be going much, much higher. But this is what I'm watching for right now, guys. I do believe this could be one. This was ABC 2. And then we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, getting us down to the bottom of the third wave. Remember, there's waves within waves in Elliott wave. This is a 4-hour chart, looking for about 75,000 for our wave 3. If this count persists, if we hit this 75,000, I'd look for a bounce up to approximately 85,000, somewhere in this range, and then a continuation to the downside, right? To the 67.7 area, somewhere in there. Now, if this was just wave 1 right here, right, which I'm not thinking that's the case, but it is a possibility. I'm going to show you what that would look like, right? Then this would be the end of wave 1 down here. Wave 2 could get us all the way up to this 104, 105 range, and then a continuation down. And that is the 0.786, right? That's why I say that. Could definitely happen, right? But we have to see what happens. Keep an eye on that neckline, on that head and shoulders. I think that's going to be key, guys. But then that would bring you down to wave 3, about 73,000, and then get a bounce. And then you get up to about that 85 range I was talking about. And again, I'll be keeping a close eye on this and giving you targets as we count it out little by little, right? Day by day. But if that happens, that could get us down to wave 5 around that 66,000, which all makes sense. And I'm just, right, like I said, you can't guess it exactly, but Elliott wave gives you a good way to kind of see where it's going. And that's why I love trading more of a swing trade, where you're in trades for days instead of, trading on the 15-minute chart and all that, which is fine. If you like that, some people do. You could still, Prime XBT is a great exchange for that because the liquidity is awesome on there. Don't skip over a lot of trades like I see a lot of these exchanges doing. But anyways, that's what I'm looking for there, guys. Let me see something. The high volume node. Yeah, the high volume nodes would match. They're around 67, 68 range. So definitely something to watch for. We could definitely see these levels. And let's get into, so this is saying, right, these blue waves, you can see I put in here, are just smaller waves within the big ones. So we have 5-wave structure over here in 2018. That would be wave 1, wave 2, and then we have the blue 5-wave structure in wave 3, right? This would be wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. And that being the end of this whole big macro cycle, bringing us down to, yes, I still think it's a possibility, 3,500 to 9,700. There's so much liquidity down there, guys, and I do still see it as a huge possibility. Now, the bullish case, that this is wave 3 that we're forming here, right? This would all have been wave 1, wave 2, and this is wave 3, meaning we could get up to the 127. According to this is all by fibs, right? If we break this 103, 104 area again and hold as support, this could get us up to as high as 127. And then we have a big correction, possibly down to, 69, 70 range, and then back up for a big wave 5, big rally at the end of this year. Is it possible? Anything's possible. I want to show you all possibilities. But that's what I'm looking at there, guys. Otherwise, here's another way showing that we could just be going in for a huge correction. Let me know what you think. Don't forget, guys, smash that thumbs up. Leave your comments below. Join the Discord. Give me a follow on X. I do throw out free promo codes. If you use my account to sign up with Prime XBT, those free promo codes can get you $200 in your account without even having to put a deposit in. And take it easy, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. I will see you tomorrow.